I am wearing one of the Ventures with Them shirts today. It is the Travel Ventures with Them. It has the one, this is the one that has all the locations and stuff that we've been. It's not all of them, but if you look at it, you can see like a lot of them have to do with either the trips we've been on or the photo videos that I have posted. So if you're interested in any of that, you can check it out. And these shirts are available on spreadshirt.com. So if you're interested in looking at any of the Ventures with Them shirts, that's where you can find them. Okay, so we've been talking about meal kits, and so we have done every plate, and we've actually done 3 weeks with them, not all together. It's just kind of been over time. And I did discontinue them. Now, I actually got it at a really good rate of like $2.99 per plate per meal. And that really, to me, is a really good deal. I'm doing the 4 plates per meal. And so it's a little bit pricey when you're doing 4 plates at a time. But usually we only end up eating 2 sometimes, and then we end up with leftovers. So that's really not so bad if we eat it at lunch, or sometimes we'll eat it the next day and then do another meal the next day. So it really does balance out pretty well for us. I just never know how many people are going to be here. So that's kind of where we sit. We do have 5 kids total. Sometimes they're all here, and sometimes there's no one here except, the 2 adults. So, we just never know. So we do the 4 meals, and then we can add more to it, or we can take away if we need to. So, so I have been doing it, and I can't really remember which recipes I've shown. So I'm just going to kind of go through and show them all. I have 2 meals left with this company. And then I have actually paused it or discontinued it for now. And I did pick up a new company today that we're going to try starting next week. And y'all, I'm really hoping that I get my countertops back on quickly, or it's not quickly, no, by no means, because it's been weeks since I've had countertops. But I'm hoping I can get them back on maybe in the next couple of weeks, and then I'll be able to start back videoing the meals. It's just not possible for me to do it. If I set up on the bar and do the prep work, try to move the camera and try to move everything to the stove while I'm doing it, there's so much back and forth that it's just impossible. And trying to move the camera around and stuff, it just doesn't work. So I just really haven't been trying to. I've been cooking, but I haven't been trying to video it due to that. But anyway, so I want to just kind of show you the meals that we have gotten. This one is the Figgy, or the Jamon Fig pork chops. This one I really liked. And we actually, this will be our second time to have this, but it'll be the first time for us to have it with the green beans. The other recipe didn't have it with the green beans, I think, or it was very similar to it. There was another one with fig. I really like this. My husband, not so much. He doesn't really like the sweet taste of it. So we will be trying it again. I'll probably add a little more salt and pepper to his, just to kind of balance out the sweetness a little bit more. This one is the sweet chili pork tacos. Now this one we did not actually get to try, and the reason we didn't get to was because we ended up without countertops. We ended up having to leave. I did freeze the meat. No, I did not freeze the meat. That was in the first set. I didn't freeze the meat, and the meat went bad before we got to it. I have learned since then, so this is my recommendation on these meal kits. If you put the vegetables and stuff into the actual vegetable container in your refrigerator and put it on coldest, it will last the longest. I also found out that as it comes in, to put your meat in the freezer. So the first night that I'm going to cook, I leave that meat out and I put the rest of it in. And I go ahead and kind of get my recipes in order of the days I think that we want to eat them when I get up the next morning before I leave for work, I actually get that meat out and let it thaw during the day. And then when I get home in the evenings and I'm ready to cook, it's already thawed out. That way your meat doesn't go bad. And if something comes up like we had, you don't ruin all that food. It actually stays. And worst case scenario, if some of the veggies go bad, you can replace those pretty easy because most of them are fairly common. So you could get those at a local grocery store if you needed to. But this is the barbecue pork sloppy joes. This actually was a favorite of everyone. You just can't really go wrong with this. I've never had pork sloppy joes, but I'm going to be honest with you. To make sloppy joes again, I will use that recipe and make them myself because they were so good. The beef banh mi, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, banh mi bowls. This one was really good too, and we all really liked it. Now, the Persian cucumber in there is pickled. I only used about a quarter of the vinegar that they send with it. I loved it that way. Nobody else was even going to try it, so I knew that. And I didn't want it to be super pickled just because I just wasn't in the mood for that extreme vinegar taste. So I just used about a quarter of the vinegar. They come in little small bottles. So I just used half of one and then I kept the other one because I may want to make that again or something similar to that again on my own, and I'll have that already. So then there is the crispy Caesar chicken. This one was very good also. Now these were in our very last box that we got. And so our first box, we really weren't going to keep it and keep doing it. The second box, I thought, well, we'll give it one more chance and see. And it was better, but it wasn't great. The third box we actually got by accident. I know I paused it, but for some reason they sent it. And so, I don't know what happened. Maybe I paused it too late, or maybe it just didn't go through on their end. I'm not sure, but I'm really glad they did send it because it has been the best so far. The sweet and tangy cherry meatballs, another one that was really good. And I think this one was actually in our second box. So that one was really good too. Okay, so this is the Figgy Thyme pork chops. This is the one that we tried before with the fig preserves. I don't like thyme. So this wasn't one that anybody really loved, but I know where I messed up is adding the thyme to it. So I might make that again later. I will not add the thyme to it though, just because I just don't like it and nobody else did either. The Apricot Dijon chicken legs. So this is the first time that we've actually gotten a meal kit that had meat on a bone in it. And so I wasn't really sure about cooking that. And usually you don't get like chicken leg or chicken quarter type meat in it. So I wasn't really sure about that one, but it actually turned out okay. My family didn't really like that Dijon taste mixed in with the sweet. It actually has in here apricot jam with that Dijon mustard, and the two mixed together just didn't go over well. So I probably wouldn't do that again. But I have found that any of them that have Dijon mustard, no one here really seems to like very much. And I think it's just, Dijon is so powerful. It's super strong. And so you really have to have a liking for it to start with. And people in my family just aren't crazy about that flavor. So I would make it again, but I would leave out the Dijon. But that's just for us. So, you know, of course, you make it how your family would love it. The Smoky Paprika pork chops. This is another one that people in my family just don't love paprika. And I'm not really sure why. It just never has been something that has been loved in this house. So I wouldn't do it again with the paprika. If I were making that one again, I would leave it out. And then we have the garlic rosemary chicken. This one was pretty good too. Now, I will say that with the rosemary, not everyone here loves rosemary either. And so when it said to take the rosemary and actually put it into the vegetables and into like getting it ready for the chicken, I actually left the rosemary on the stem and just sat it on top. And it did give the fragrance and it did give a little bit of the taste without it being in there the entire time you're trying to eat it. So if to do it again, I would definitely go that route, especially if you don't know if your family is going to love rosemary like that. It has a flavor that, to me, you're either going to love it or you hate it. I don't think there's really any in between with rosemary either. It's kind of like thyme. You either love it or you hate it. And so I recommend doing it that way. I just left it on the stem and then placed the stems just kind of sporadically on top of the vegetables while they were cooking. And I would definitely do that again. And then I just took it off as I got ready to serve it. So, you know, that's just my way of doing it. But that's what I would do just in recommendations. So anyway, so these were the ones that we got from every plate. And like I said, the first week just wasn't good. I think we had maybe one in there that we liked. The second week had a couple in there that were pretty good. But that third week, I mean, we haven't had one bad so far. Everyone has loved everything that we have cooked. So I think maybe it's just, I think they're just improving the recipes as they go. And I'm really not sure how long every plate has been around. I really need to kind of research this and see. You know, I'm not sure, but it has definitely been good the third week versus the first week. But I did cancel it for sure this time. I know I thought I canceled it before, but I definitely canceled it this time. And I did sign up today with Dinnerly. So we will be getting Dinnerly in next week. And when it does come in, I will show you the content and I will show you the recipes. And we will see. Now, one thing I found about Dinnerly is their meals are cheaper. They're running a little under $2 a plate. And they have 4 plates for 6 days. And so we're getting an extra day in there, and we're getting our meals about $1 a plate cheaper. So, or it is $1 a plate cheaper. So we're getting a better deal with it to start off with. Now, with every one of these, do know that your first one is a big discount. And then you get your second one, and you might get like a 20% discount. The first ones are like 50 and 60% discount, so it's a big discount. And then the second ones are like a 20% discount, and then the third one's like another 20% discount or something like that. And then the fourth one, you don't get a discount. So I did find with every plate that if I cancel it after each week, that they actually will send me another thing to say, do it again for $2.99 a meal. And so you get another week of $2.99 a meal. Now that is a hassle, and it's not a good thing to do, but to me they're not worth $4.99 a plate. I just haven't found any, except for this week, I just haven't found them to be worth that. I mean, the taste and the products that are coming in just haven't seemed to be worth more than that. So if you're gonna do it, make sure you get it at $2.99 for the every plate meals to try them. You may feel different. You may think that it is worth it, and I also found that the more you buy with them doesn't mean the cheaper it is. So definitely go through the plans and see. You can click on each one to see what the price of it is per meal before you buy them. So you can see what they're running. And so with every plate, it wasn't cheaper to go with more days or more plates. Dinnerly, on the other hand, is cheaper from what I was seeing to go with more plates and more meals. So you just have to watch for that. So anyway, with that being said, I hope you have a wonderful day.